Episode 29 of the Talking Guys. We are one away from 30. Wow, how quickly time
That is
flies.
not how it works.
Yeah, we're at 29 episodes, and that means next week we'll hit the 30th.
No.
Okay.
I think
How does it work then?
Each week I pick a random number, and that's
Okay.
that's the episode we're on.
What number did you choose for this week?
Oh, it's 29. Just next week isn't 30.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
just got really lucky
Yeah.
that the RNG was with you today. But as
So-
a gamer, you understand that RNG can screw you over sometimes. So you just gotta live and love it. It's part of being a gamer.
I got lucky because it was sequential, and I happened to pull the number out that followed the previous week's episode number.
It was a lucky guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
Super lucky.
Nice. You know what else is lucky?
Hmm.
Charms.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Yeah, actually not a big fan of the Lucky Charms because the marshmallows
Shut-
get soggy. The marshmallow gets soggy.
Shut up.
I think they're too sweet. I can't eat them.
They're
They
so good.
taste good, but they're just too sweet.
No, they're like my favorite, man. I love Lucky Charms.
Or like, I can eat a couple bites, but if I eat a full bowl or two for breakfast, I feel bad the whole day.
Not stereotyping Patrick, but does it have anything to do with your heritage? Is there a relation between the two being Irish?
Yes. When I
Nice.
was 3, I knew I was
Figures.
Irish, and I love those. When I was 5, I still knew I was Irish, and I
Well,
loved
I
them
mean,
even
I
more.
hope you didn't lose
When
that
I was
knowledge.
7, I knew I was Irish, and I loved Lucky Charms even more. When I was 9, I started realizing that it doesn't really matter, but I still love Lucky Charms. And now I'm, it doesn't matter anymore. But because of my heritage, I love Lucky Charms.
I thought you were going to count all the way up. I
That would
guess
take
not.
too long.
Okay. I liked how you kept the sequence of twos, though.
Yeah. When I was 48, I knew I was Irish. I was still Irish. And that's when I knew that Lucky Charms, in any form or fashion, was by far the superior cereal to eat every morning. There's nothing that even comes close to comparing to it because it's magically delicious. And the leprechauns know what they're doing. You just got to believe in them.
I don't know if it's magically healthy for you, though. Not actual advice.
No, yes, it is. It's full of sugar. Sugar is healthy.
It is probably the best food you could eat. So
The right
I would
sugar.
recommend eating a ton of sugar all the time.
Yep,
Never
and when I
stop.
was 59 and I had stage 3 diabetes, it was magically delicious.
Damn.
No, the reason I liked Lucky Charms is my parents never allowed me to eat anything good. Like
Wow.
my mom since a early age was always like worried about us eating like semi-healthy food. So like, sugary, like I'm not kidding you. Sugary cereal was not allowed in our family. Like we never had it. Like I didn't get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I didn't get, what my mom would do. She would take regular Cheerios and she would give us Honey Nut Cheerios. But instead of giving us both, she would mix them together because it was too much sugar in just the Honey Nut Cheerios. So we would have regular and honey. That's what I grew up in. So Lucky Charms, the only time I ever got to eat Lucky Charms and why I probably consider them so good is that every time I would go and get to see my grandparents on the O'Brien side, they would keep Lucky Charms there. And so I would eat this bowl of Lucky Charms and it would be like the best thing I've ever
You
had.
just got your grandparents in trouble. Way to go.
Cereal wise. No, my parents knew about it. They were just like, oh, well, you can have it while we're at their house, but you're not going to have it when we go back to ours. Oh.
So what you're telling me is you don't actually like Lucky Charms. You like the memories. That's actually
No,
sweet.
but I mean,
that's actually kind of sweet.
Okay, yeah.
That's the way Lucky Charms taste.
Probably semi.
Kind of sweet.
It's
it's probably like 90% of the reason why you like Lucky Charms.
I do like the
but
taste
it's
of Lucky
okay.
Charms.
I said it's sweet.
But it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, it probably is because you played a game and you had all these good memories. Then you see that game in a better light than maybe it was. Like Pokemon games. I had so much fun playing Pokemon games with friends. That now I hold Pokemon in high regard, even though the games nowadays are less entertaining to me than they were when I was a little kid. I loved them so much when I was small, but now I'm older and wiser, and I'm like they're too basic for me for the most part. But I don't know. That's why. So I do love Lucky Charms, and it was because my grandparents, who are Irish, gave me Lucky Charms.
I'm going to pose a question before we get to
Mm.
what's new. Patrick, if you had to choose between Lucky Charms or Pokemon.
Good choice.
No, he said they're two of his favorites.
I mean, probably Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. even though the
he just spent 2 minutes praising Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
He just
And also what I heard was he prefers Pokemon over his grandparents.
No, I love
Just
my
kidding.
grandparents.
Just
but
kidding.
I have a lot of good memories related with.
See,
Pokemon.
he didn't say you would lose all your memories. You just couldn't play it again. When was the last time you played Pokemon?
It was when I was 25. I played Pokemon X for like an entire year straight.
So 4 years ago. Not to give away your age, but you probably would be okay without Pokemon. Because I know for a fact you have Lucky Charms within the past month or two.
Yeah, but
Even
I
this
don't
morning?
I don't get it like that often either. Like maybe
But
2
more
or 3
often
times
than
a
once
year.
every 4 years? Just
Yeah.
asking for a friend.
But there's so many good cereals that I can eat now because I'm an adult and I can just go to the store and
And
buy
there are
them.
so many good Pokemon games you can still play.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Pokemon is
There's
fun.
so
Like,
many
when I
good
do
games
play,
out there besides Pokemon. Like you'd have
When I-
other options if you.
when I
chose to
do
not have
play a
them.
Pokemon game, I enjoy them. I really do. They're fun. They're so fun.
Are
But
they magically delicious though?
they're so good.
I don't know.
They're so good.
All right, so
Um,
he's made up his mind. Pokemon over grandparents. So
Yep. I'm sorry.
It is
sorry.
what it is.
I'm sorry,
right.
Grandma and Grandpa. I love you. I really do.
all right, time for what's new. The Lakers are up 2-0. So I guess
Shocker.
I was about to say, yeah, guess color me surprised. Also, the first game that they played was the lowest rated NBA Finals game since the Game 5 of the 1994 NBA Finals, which featured the Rockets and the Knicks. So I guess people are tired of LeBron being in the finals, and I would
I think
assume the
people are
same.
tired of the NBA stacking their teams. It's never fair. It hasn't been for years.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to watch those teams dominate.
No, people like to watch, your home team trying to get, a good player or two, not just like one team going, "Hey, I want to buy every good player," and then win the finals. Like, it's no fun. It's no fun if you know who's gonna win. That's part of it. I mean,
But I mean,
look at your jersey. You know all about the struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I do. Yeah. The struggle of
I had to slide it in there somewhere.
that I've been cursed with.
for the last, since you were alive, actually.
Yeah,
I was
that's
3
why
the
in
last time they won.
Previous episode I mentioned I wish I'd grown up during the 80s as a bonus. I've been able to watch the triplets get their 3 rings. But
then you would have also lived through the next 28 years with comprehension of what was happening to you.
yeah, but
And
still
how
I
bad your
could
team
live
was.
I could always live in the past because I witnessed it. Now I can't really say, well, we've got 5 rings because
all you can really say is, well, the Cowboys have won one playoff game since I've rooted for them. So it's good. It's getting better, okay? Because it took them like 20 years to win the one playoff game, and then they went back to mediocrity the next year. So
I'm going to cut in here because we definitely just jumped off of the what's new, and I apologize. I just needed to make a jab.
No, it's
Okay.
okay. 1 and 2, but they have a shot. They have a real shot at beating Cleveland this week.
Nice,
so we'll see.
Nice.
Wow,
that's a thing.
Awesome, bro.
Congratulations to your team, Patrick. They won Thursday night, so I was going to throw that in there because that was actually a pretty good game.
The 0-3 team versus the
0-3 team
duked it out, and they barely won by 1 touchdown. It was amazing. Oh man, it's gonna be a great year.
Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup, so congratulations to the players on that team. Sorry, Dallas. There is maybe next season. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're gonna get there, but if we do, hey, always next year. There was what some would and some would not consider a presidential debate that happened this previous week. That was a show to watch. Probably want to get your
TV is just so much fun.
Yep, probably want to get your popcorn ready for the next debate, if there is one, because there is saying he's got COVID, so we'll see. Regal Cinemas has now closed all of their U.S. theaters after the newest James Bond movie, No Time to Die, has been delayed for the 4th time.
Right.
To my knowledge, it's been delayed. Last year, I think it's supposed to. Yeah, it's been delayed. It's supposed to come out end of last year, then it got delayed to April of this year, and then they pushed it again to November, and now it's being released. Supposedly, it's on schedule to get released on around Easter next year, so sometime in April, which leaves Dune and Wonder Woman 84 as the only major blockbusters that are still scheduled to come out.
But I'm excited for Dune.
I'm putting a pin in that. We can talk about something after what's new.
All right. Likelihood of them being delayed is probably high, though.
Okay.
So, and also with Regal closing their doors, it's up to 28,000 employees, I guess, are now currently without a job at the moment. So
just from theaters,
yeah, because they've got quite a few of them throughout the U.S. I could be wrong. I don't know if there are any close to where I live because it's not a theater that I typically visit. So, but to those that have lost.
Well, wasn't the theater industry already doing bad anyways, though?
Yeah.
Before this all happened.
Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and hit that pin because we're going to talk. Because back whenever, COVID started, being a new thing, I had said that the theater industry, I don't think is going to come back. I don't think it's going to survive it because, yes, they were doing bad beforehand. And then this is happening. This goes to just prove, that's right. I don't think the theater industry is going to survive at all. So as a side note, I pulled up the Mulan because they released that new way where you pay for extra for it on a streaming service, and you get it earlier than the streaming service would give it to you, which I can't remember the dates on it. It was like 4 months, right? 3 or 4 months early if you paid $30 for the movie.
To my knowledge, I believe it comes out next month on Disney Plus for free, and I believe it was released in August, sometime in August.
Okay, but either way,
end of August maybe.
So we even talked about how that would go, etc. And I was curious. So it looks like it's almost 61 million in this first month and a half, which doesn't seem too bad. It's not like, blow out the box office, but no one expected Mulan to ever blow out a box office.
The remake of Mulan to blow out the box office.
So I feel like that's pretty good. And so I really think more movies are going to lean towards this versus, big movie theater releases.
You know what you should have looked up is what other movies that were the remakes, like what did they do when they went to theaters?
The Disney remake?
I'm just curious as to how this performed based.
Let's go with
compared to.
I'm gonna pull up Lion King real quick because, ouch! But it is the Lion King, which is why I pulled it up because it's the movie that everybody wanted to watch. But that one did 1.6 billion.
Oh, I'd seen a graphic.
So they're doing way less
regarding the movies. Their either Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb score, and it was the Disney movies, the animated movies versus the live action remakes. To my knowledge, the only one that actually scored around the same, I believe, was the Jungle Book. I think because most of the majority of them have been critically panned, and so
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that's such a hit.
Yeah, but it is, to Seth's point, The Lion King, and I think the name alone pulls.
Okay, so I readjusted my search because that number was just so different. So that first day is the Mulan one I pulled up. The first day for Lion King is 78.5. So it's actually a hell of a lot closer.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that was
so
just
I-
they just made
Yeah,
it
so
in one day.
so the first number I got is what
One
they
day?
got over there, like time and theater, I
No,
guess.
probably 1 month, right?
No, that's the first day release.
Hold on, so it made $61 million in a day.
And then Lion King made 78.5.
Hey, well then,
So it's not
maybe
it's not a
all
huge gap,
good.
and for the everyone wanted the Lion King, and I heard a lot of mixed emotions about Mulan. So actually, like I said, I think movie theaters are gone. Don't invest in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Kind of sad. But the thing is, I like going to movie theaters, so I would still go back to them. But what to Seth's point, which is realistically, which is what I've been saying this whole time about through this whole COVID, was that if they continue to regulate and kill business like they're doing and saying you can't be open or you can't do this, even if it's something that people like, by the time this is over, financially speaking, they're not going to be able to sustain the losses that they're going to be taking over these months. And
No.
especially like if they had continued to do what they did to the restaurant industry, we would have seen so many chains, I feel like, shut down, because you can't ask a restaurant to be closed for 6 months and expect them to be able to survive. And anything that was weak before, so if they were not doing great economically before COVID, they're toast now. It's killing all the weak corporations in the world.
And also
They're just
the mom and pops, unfortunately.
yep, sadly, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I've said it before, so I won't spend too much time on it because I know we still have topics for what's new. I don't, they keep saying cure next week, cure next week. Well, they've been saying that since like March.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is, you back to the first episode, because I think a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, well, June, July, it'll be gone. And I was, the pessimist for saying, I say August, September. Well, it's October, and nothing really has changed. So, this 2022 could come and we're still in this. Who knows? But there is a breaking point where.
Well, I know Fauci, even though maybe everybody disagrees or agrees with his opinion of what things are happen, but in the last like week or two, he has gone to where they were saying that they might have a vaccine ready to go by the end of this year, and now they're saying that it could be as far as into like right at this during this time of the year next year is when they'll finally like COVID will stop being as big a thing. So we still have about a year to go.
I don't think COVID's going anywhere. It'll
No.
be just like the flu, where it becomes a seasonal thing.
It's not going anywhere, but our views of it will
go
go somewhere. We just have to get through the elections.
Oh no, I think everybody's already kind of like getting to the point where it's like, well, I just got to go back. I wear my mask. I try and maintain some sort of social distancing.
Well, we
and
do.
like stuff.
We do, but
and then there's all the people that are like, I don't believe any of it's real, even though there's now like how many people have died worldwide? I don't even know at this point. I know America has a lot.
At least 12.
To my knowledge,
at least 12.
I can say that very matter of factly.
To my knowledge, watching the debates, I know they brought the statistic up, and I believe it was roughly around over 200,000. I think it'd been like maybe like 5 or 6
in America.
million. Yeah, have died.
Yeah. So
and
worldwide, it's like what?
Doing the quick math on that, the mortality rate was like a 2.3%. but it's gone down because I checked and it had been a 3 to 4% back in like April through June ish. So the percentage of deaths I think have dropped, but we're still here in it. So I think and I'm on a tangent here. There is a point where you just go back to normal because like y'all mentioned with businesses, a lot of businesses, none of it was ever designed to have a 6 month, like you mentioned, Patrick,
Yeah, you just
hiatus.
can't. Doesn't matter. There's very few healthy businesses that can handle that to that extent. I mean, even the place that I work for, which I'm not going to say who they are or anything like that, but even them, and from what I've been told, they were in decent financial standings before COVID happened. I guarantee you they've taken a hit because of this. Imagine if they hadn't have been more responsible with their money coming into it. Imagine. So it's
Yeah.
like, any company that was trying to cut their budget to as small, to do as much stuff as they could every year, the smaller corporations and stuff that are really a lot more budget um worried than some of the bigger corporations that have huge lump sums of money that, or at least that they can get rid of, or they have a lot of liquidation and stuff that they could, you know, use towards helping with this, or they can also borrow a lot of money just because of how much money they're worth. People will lend them the money. Anybody that's not like that, that's in any kind of like just okay spot, by the time this ends, they're going to be in a really bad spot. And it's going to cause a lot of jobs to go away. So I've been telling people since the very beginning, don't lose your job. Don't know if your job's going to be around in a couple months. You know, you want to keep making your money as long as you can. I like so many people in the state that I live in, like literally people were just like purposely quitting so they could get unemployment. And I'm like, short term that's gonna work. You're gonna make a
Yeah,
decent amount of money. Long term,
it's not feasible.
yeah. And they're saying, at this point with how it's going, it's like it could be months. I mean, it could be not months, it could be years before. Think about what happened with the financial bubble in 2008 when it came crashing down. Look how long it took for it to change, and now you have something that's going on for months, years. You're saying,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, let's go on
It's
with
the
what's
end
new
of the
because I
world
know.
as we know it,
Stop it.
and I'm just fine. I
Fine.
think Seth has a couple
Da-da-da.
things to throw in there for what's new. Seth, take it away.
So for tech and gaming, Cyber 2077, they released I'm gonna say trailer because that's the word they used. It's a little cinematic with
That's what the
Keanu
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like I don't even know how long, 30 seconds maybe at most. I mean, I don't even think it was that long, but it's just a little like a teaser, I guess, is a better thing to say.
Wait, Keanu Reeves is in it?
Yes, he's the main character.
Really?
Where have you been since they've been developing this game for the past 77 years?
Eating his
I
bowl
only
of
say
Lucky
that because
Charms.
they have postponed it multiple times, but the game looks awesome. They're postponing it for the right reasons. They
Yeah.
want it to be ready. But their new release date is 11/19, and a lot of people are saying they think that'll actually be the release date. So that'll be interesting.
I know World of Warcraft, their new expansion, Shadowlands, has also been delayed because it was supposed to come out like in like 2 weeks or something, and they just came out and said we've got to go back. It's another 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I
before it
mean,
comes.
you don't want to be another Destiny and release a broken game and try and fix it
Yeah.
as you go. It,
So-
it makes you lose a ton of people.
But the great thing about the gaming industry and the tech industry is that a lot of this can be done
Remotely.
remotely over your own
100%.
personal computers, so they can actually still be working. And maybe it takes longer, but it's not like they're just stopping production for 6 months. It's slowing production. So that's super cool that they can actually do that because a lot of them can work from home.
Yeah. So then also 2 members of Team Executor, which they are a group of people who find and buy word. I'm not buy, but oh no, I left my page. I forget the word of it.
They sponsor, they finance or something, or what?
No, they where the heck is it?
So they're
I'm
not part of
sorry.
like
I
a
just
team that.
so console hacking and piracy stuff. So like they pirate things and sell them for a lot cheaper across consoles.
So like Robin Hood.
Sure. Yeah, they're
Okay.
gaming Robin Hoods. Um, so, but 2 of them have been arrested and charged with 11 felony counts. So it'll be interesting
I
to
would
see
assume the
where that
majority of the
goes.
things they're doing are probably not legal.
Oh yeah, no, they're not doing illegal things at all. They're on the internet though, so you should do a better job at covering your tracks because you obviously got to be pretty smart to steal all this stuff and pirate it out. You should cover your tracks a little better. But
Yeah,
anyways,
so
I'm curious to see
sometimes
11
we
felony counts. That sucks.
on the
So
pre-show we
They're going
talked
to
about
jail
that.
for a very long time. Promise you.
Well, I mean, at least it was that pre-show. We kind of discussed some of the what's new topics very, very, very briefly. And Seth mentioned the felonies, and I just assumed they had actually gone out. When you say felonies, I'm thinking aggravated robbery or arson or murder or something. But I guess the felonies they possibly committed were probably a lot less severe. So I guess that's
I
a
don't
good
know the
thing.
class, but
It's
it's
stealing of
definitely internet. Because
yeah.
remember,
Yeah,
kids,
but I mean, at
piracy
the end
is
of the
not a
day,
victimless crime.
yeah, at the
No,
end of the
it's
day, I
not.
think that's probably the better crime to be accused of versus actually going out and hitting someone with your car and running them over.
Well, I mean, maybe, but if you're going to jail for 11 felonies, you're going to jail for 11 felonies. So you might as well go
Doesn't
in with some
matter.
street cred.
Yeah. You know what though?
Not
The
actual advice.
I guarantee you, when they go to jail, they're probably going to be super popular. Like people are going to be like, "Wow, you're the one. You were stealing all this stuff." They're going to be like, "Well, can you help me do this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." They're probably going to live
Yeah,
the
with
life.
all that tech that they're using in jail, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have a lot of options.
Yeah, all
Because
the stuff
I do watch a YouTuber that went to jail for I can't remember how many years, and for being a jewel thief, he would steal diamonds from and he stole like I think it was $23 million worth of diamonds over his career. He was a million, he lived the life for a long time because he would sell them for less, but he still sold them for huge amounts of money.
the only
So,
thing he couldn't steal.
but he went to prison for I think 20 years or something.
Time.
And when he got out, he made a YouTube channel and talked about like everything how he did it, everything about it, how he got caught, and it was really interesting. So I watched him, but he made one about how it is to be in prison, and it was super interesting hearing the guy talk about it. And they literally do that where what you go in for, if you cause problems or whatever, they'll go look up the criminals inside jail will use their connections and go look up what your rap sheet was, and you will be judged, juried, and executed based off of that. So if you're like a pedophile and they find it out, like you're dead basically, or your life's going to be a living hell for the remainder of your time in prison. If they feel like you beat up your woman or whatever and you went to jail, you're gonna like live the worst life possible in jail. Like, but if you like were a big gangbanger and like sold tons of drugs and stuff and like lived a life, then like you have cred and they'll leave you alone for the most part. If you're like, I did grant, or like him, he was a jewel thief.
Right.
So they would be like, "Oh, you're cool, dude. Like, have a nice life." And they would like leave him alone in prison. So I was like, that's really interesting. I never really heard what it was like. But he
Oh
said
yeah, no.
he got in trouble all the time because he just would never stand down, and so he just like
That's exactly what I'd say too if I was on YouTube and no one could, say I was lying or not.
I think he said he spent 2 years in the hole because of his whole time because
No, he spent 2 years in his cell crying.
Because he would constantly cause problems, and so they would just be like, "Well, you're going to the hole again. Going to the hole again." But I don't know. It was just very interesting because you don't really hear a lot about prison in that way. I feel like. Anyways, that's a very long tangent, but check the dude out. His name's I think Larry Lawton or something like that. Pretty cool dude from New York. He talks like a New Yorker and everything.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So where was I at? Okay, so yeah.
Felony counts.
In tech. I left that one alone because we don't need to get back into prison talk. So in tech, Apple's newest update allows like the YouTube 4K to go to the 4K TVs, which is cool. It's a first right now, but it is at 30 FPS, which is bad. It's really bad, and so it's I have no idea why they didn't try and do higher than that, but just for those of you who don't know, 30 FPS is like what your older consoles are doing on your TV, like that frame rate. And I mean, computers and stuff have been running way higher than that, even at 720. So we're talking a 4K doing 30 FPS.
I get like 144 FPS.
So do I
on my computer. Usually.
And it's just like, so it's weird that they made sure to get the 4K out, but the frames per second is so bad. We'll see if they fix it.
Maybe it's because of the output, with it being that high of a resolution. So no, usually the higher the resolution, the lower the frames, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. With, I mean, I guess I can segue into my next thing. The RTX 3090 came out, and I mean, it is way better than any. No, I wouldn't say way better. So like the RTX Titan is still insanely good, but that thing cost about $2,500 still. So it's obviously not one of those things that just everyone just buys and has. But it still cranks out the frames at an extremely high rate.
What's the Titan again?
The RTX Titan is the one that's been out for a couple of years now, but it was the top of the top. The 3090 just came out, and it's testing better. It's testing better. Yeah, it's testing better than the Titan and all of its other ones, and its price point is still a high. Like I think it's $1,500, but that's
only
that's $1,000 less than the Titan, but it's still
I
high
know what I'm spending my money on.
It's still high because
tomorrow?
The next level below it is like, so if you go to the 20 series, they're looking at about like $600, $700. So it's quite a price jump.
Yeah, because mine's only a 1080, so I feel like I'm super far behind now. I'm really gonna have to up my game up because that's like 20% slower at this point. And that's just not.
It's not null and void though, unless you're playing the high quality.
I'm one of those people where if I'm playing a game, I must play at the highest possible quality at all times.
Well, I mean, you play a lot of League of Legends and stuff
or I'm like
that, so you can get by with a $50 Wish graphics card.
Speaking, these medium graphics look so terrible on this game. I just can't do it anymore. I cannot.
But again, the games that you play, you'd be okay off a Wish.com graphics card.
What?
So just saying.
I'm playing SWOTOR right now.
Yeah, it is not a high graphic game.
And it is a high graphically intense game, dude.
All right. Well, that's all I had, though. But that's all I've got.
This entire episode is what's new.
Yeah, apparently. What's new in tangents.
There was a lot of good what's news.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things we talked about, I have no idea how we got to it, but
yeah,
here we are.
I think you had a question for me, Seth, that you were curious about this week.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I have this specifically for Patrick, just in life, because I need to know. But I thought it'd be interesting if we all, answered our own. So, how do you pick the videos that you watch in your free time, whether it's on YouTube or whatever? Like, how do you make a selection,
or other tubes, possibly?
Okay.
Just so many out there, you know.
Yeah, so many out there.
Which one though?
I don't know, but I usually use YouTube. That's my biggest thing.
But yeah, so how do you pick?
How do
Because
I
mean, I'm just gonna say, like, you know, everyone by now probably knows that we're roommates. He, like, I can walk in and he's watching something that I'm like, I didn't know you even knew that existed. Like, you've never spoken of that thing, like that category ever. And then, you know, the next day I walk in and it's a complete 180 on the other end of the spectrum, and I'm just like, you literally just like that one.
That's how I choose my porn.
I mean, if it works, it works, I guess.
Yeah.
Have some sort of deep. Okay.
No.
To answer this properly, I think you need to understand that I am someone that uh I am like a knowledge seeker. I like knowing things. So sometimes even though I have no interest in the subject, it's just something that I don't know about. So I go and watch videos about it because I'm just like it piques my interest that day and I'm like, okay, I'll go watch this person play. The other day I was watching somebody 1v1 on what was the game? What's that game called? It's the one that you play, Will. That's like
Smite.
Smite. He was playing. He was 1v1.
That was a shot in the dark.
I
haven't touched that game in months though.
I never play. I've played Smite like maybe a total of like 6 hours my entire life. You know, I've played it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I got quite a bit more than that.
Have no clue what's going on. Was still watching the video just because I don't know. It just interested me. The other day, I was the one that he's specifically talking about is this morning. I was watching a guy play poker online. I don't play poker. I've never played poker. I really don't understand how poker truly works, but it's something that I am semi interested in sort of understanding. And so I saw this guy that I watch. His name's Ludwig, and he actually has a pretty interesting content, but it is very random. He's like a very much a variety streamer. He streams mostly. But he happened to do one about him doing a Twitch streamer. I guess they had all these Twitch streamers that went in together and like paid a certain amount of money to play in this poker tournament. And he played in the poker tournament and won like $2,000 off of it, whatever. And I was watching him, and it was interesting to see him play poker just because of when he holds and when he folds and when he calls. And I never have known enough about poker to understand any of that. So that's why I watched that one. But in general, you know, YouTube suggests you a lot of things that are related to what you watch. And because I watch such a diverse amount of stuff, I get suggested a very diverse amount of topics, and I choose to listen to them because the more you know, the more interesting you are. So like, say I sit down to this old man.
I'm 100% on, you know, learning things. Knowledge is power. I say all the time. If you didn't learn something today, you wasted today. I'm big on that, but also I draw a line between useless information and, you know, what I might need. Like, so Smite, you never play it. You'll never play it. We both know that. Like, I wouldn't, and I also will not get back into it. Like, so that's not knowledge that I care to have.
Were you ever into it though?
I mean, I played it relatively regularly for like a month straight, but it's not my kind of game, and I know it won't go back. So I also don't care to know how those people play. Like, I will never play League of Legends. I don't care about them. I like how to use characters, how to do, because that's not knowledge I will ever want to have. And that's how I choose. I mean, so whenever I choose a video, it is based on what I'm currently doing in my life, pretty much.
Which I do that.
So, like, whenever I built this desk, a super awesome desk, super cool. No, But when I built it, a lot of stuff that I was watching was on, people building different custom things just to see if I can get ideas how to do different things. Um, Whenever like I'm currently building a second PC, and that is so more my YouTube is suggesting PC type stuff because I'm watching just a bunch of different custom builds again to get ideas. That's pretty much how I choose my videos based on what could spark my next project.
But okay, so see, my thing is you never know who you're gonna meet. And you never know that when you talk to someone, what conversation you're gonna have. So in my opinion, to be the most interesting and best conversationalist I can
That
possibly
is
be.
that is
No.
disingenuous. That's
No,
disingenuous.
it is because I have such a wide variety of topics that I have covered and at least garnered some basic information about, that when I talk to somebody, if I can find any common ground, I mean, you know how I am when I talk to people. I can talk to somebody forever and about stuff that I never talk about in my own personal life. And you're like, how the hell does he know it? A lot of people are like, oh, Patrick, you're just pulling it out of your butt. And you've never shown any interest in this. So how would you know anything about it? It's because I have shown interest. I just don't show interest to people I know personally because they never have shown an interest in the topic, and I don't necessarily shove my interests onto other people all the time because mostly people are not interested in you spending 4 hours talking about the proper methodology of poker if you don't like poker, or how to be a better league player. Because are we at, okay? So, oh man, now you threw off my whole train of thought. You really did. We had a little thing where it cut out, so then we're coming
Yeah, it's
back,
an
and
issue
I was in
Discord
mid
has.
conversation. But
Yeah.
basically, which is a very good point that Seth just pointed out, which I don't know if we're
Are you
going to
pointing
keep
at
that
me or
in or
him?
not.
I,
Seth just pointed out,
No, wait.
right?
Are you on
yeah,
mine?
he's
Your
right.
left or right?
He
Stop.
pointed at me.
Okay. You got to understand how my mind works, okay? And I get critiqued about this all the time, which is 100% totally true. It's true. I am a very weirdly detail oriented person, which means in some places in my life I don't follow detail. Like for instance, the level of cleanliness in my room. It's a mess. It's
That's
cluttered.
why
It's
he's got the
everywhere,
green
right?
screen there, folks.
Right. Um but in like interests and hobbies and things that I know, I I don't know what it is. I literally have like an infatuation with knowing things and being detailed and knowing about it. So when I go into a topic, I learn all this crap, this random stuff, way too much detail for you that you probably will never want to hear. But it means that when I do come across somebody that does like it, I can talk to the majority of people I run into and have deep, meaningful, interesting conversations
Yeah,
with
but
them
you can still have
because
you can still
I'm
have
so
good
detailed.
conversations without knowing everything about it. Like so
But see,
me and
yeah, but
me
that's
and a
the
guy we know
difference.
from Lafayette, like we both are avid gamers. We do not play the same games, nor will we ever. But we still have conversations about gaming because we both understand gaming. So like he'll talk about his games like League of Legends, and I'll talk about my games, and we still have conversations and we can connect because we understand. And like whenever he says stuff like, when he says stuff like in this ranked match I lost this much, like, or MMR, whatever they call it, but I understand because I understand how ranked matches work even if I don't play the game. You don't have to know everything about every topic because it comes across, I feel like, disingenuous. Like you've got all the stuff, which like you said, people say sometimes you pull stuff out of your butt
But
because
I
that's
don't.
what it feels like because you're like every topic I bring up you gotta give me a 20-minute spiel about that topic, and like there's
That's true.
so it's one of those like it's
But
okay
it's
to say
something.
I don't know a lot about that topic but I can relate and understand. My thoughts.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I literally could be somebody that. I mean, I'm almost positive. I don't know. I don't even want to go into this too much more, but I'm definitely uh uniquely there's not very many people that are like me when it comes to like the amount of stuff I'm interested in and the amount of time I put into that interest. So like I totally get it. And I as I've gotten older, I do realize when I'm speaking too much about something, and I try not to, but sometimes the passion of whatever, I'll just keep going. But a lot of times now, the older I get, the more I realize, like, oh, even though I've done all this research, or even though I've watched, hundreds of hours worth of videos on this topic, none of the people I know are interested. And then I'll randomly meet somebody that actually does have an interest in that topic, and I'll talk to them about it, and we'll go on and on. But for the most part, most people aren't interested in that level. So I try and like draw myself back in some way, shape, or form, and like pull myself back and not talk so much about it. Because it's been a thing since I was a young kid. I don't know. I don't know. It's just how my mind works. It's extremely hard for me not. Like I'm like a sponge, man. I just suck shit in. And it's like you said, sometimes it's useless information that why would I even like suck it in and keep it? Why? Like what's the point of having it? But I do it. And my mind just does it. And then it's there and it just won't go away. So then I'm stuck with this stuff. So then when people talk about it, I'm like, I feel like this need to like tell you, even though you probably don't give two shits. So yeah, now you know me, man. So that's why I picked the videos I picked, man. I don't know. It's like that. For whatever reason that day, it interests me. So then I just watch a couple hours worth of videos about this topic that I had no interest in the prior day. And then I never watch it again. And I move move on to something new. I don't know. I can't tell you.
I mean, because it's just random. But Will, so
What
how
was
do
the
you
question again?
how do you choose the videos you watch in your free time? Whether it's just like random content creators who just make stupid videos, or you watch how-to videos. Like, how do you make your decisions?
So 98% of the videos I watch on the internet are on YouTube. Just throwing it out there. Years ago, I subbed to anything that seemed interesting, and over time, my list has become significantly more refined. I've lost interest, people, and the content they make, and I have unsubscribed. And so my list has become significantly smaller than it used to be. But for the most part, the majority of the videos I watch are from content creators that I have been following for years. Um, things I'm interested in, cars. I used to be subscribed to quite a few car channels that did, like reviews. And for the most part, majority of them, I just was no longer interested in watching their content, but I kept a couple around. Um, Same goes for gaming. I hardly don't watch. Hardly don't watch. That just contradicts itself. That means I do watch. I hardly watch any gaming related channels anymore. Back in the day, there used to be a lot of original skits. A lot of the original YouTubers did a lot of skits. It's unfortunate that that doesn't seem like that's the case anymore because a lot of them were very cleverly written and performed. So those channels are basically dead at this point. So I unsubscribed. Um, I have a podcast that I listen to every week. Aside from this one, because it's okay that you can listen to more than one podcast. Uh, something. How to choose the videos though? I think it's just kind of whatever's interesting at that time.
No.
Um, and a lot of the things that I am interested in, I've been interested in probably the last like 5 to 6 years since I've been subscribed to the majority of the channels I watch, and my interests haven't really changed. To Patrick's point, though, I think it is um, I was gonna say great, but I think it makes you a better person if you're informed, well informed, in a variety of topics. And no, I don't think you have to be the most knowledgeable person on that topic, because
Yeah.
if there is a particular subject or topic, just know you will never be the most intelligent person on that subject or topic. There's someone that has invested more time, more money, more energy into learning that particular topic or subject. And you will never get to that point. It's just the way it is. But I think it is a good thing to have at least some knowledge. I think what Patrick had mentioned, is you can have conversations with people that have a particular interest in that topic. And I think it's actually probably better that you don't know everything about that topic, because it allows you to gain knowledge from someone that you're talking or discussing that has more knowledge than you. And then it allows you to take and learn from them.
I mean, and little interjection right there. Also, asking questions of them makes them feel important, which will endear you to them.
Yeah, pro
Right.
tip right there, life pro tip.
Which if you have a basic knowledge of what they're talking about, you're better at asking questions. So
Yeah, but listen, I'm a pretty boring guy. I watch the same. Oh, geez, like 4 channels maybe. I know I'm subscribed to way more than that, but on a daily basis, it's probably about between 2 to 4 channels. I actually follow one, and I'll name drop them. So they're called NFL Throwback, and actually what they do is they take it's between 15 to 20 minutes usually, and they will condense obviously an NFL game into basically all of the plays that are interesting or fun to watch. And they will take a variety of games. What they usually do is they will take a game that's happened maybe in like the 80s. For instance, like this week, Dallas will play Cleveland. So it's possible they will upload a video that has a game from like 85 or 93 when they played each other. I think that's interesting. And, it's something that I didn't get to experience growing up. So it's something that I get to kind of witness now and watch, because I like history, a lot of history. Um, Card channels, like I said, not really into gaming. But the majority of the stuff I watch is just stuff that I've been watching for years, and I haven't really broadened, uh, my interests, because I found things I like, and it's unfortunate. Unlike Patrick, I find a thing I like and I don't change. I hate change. I've never liked
but that's
change.
fine. Like
I
that's
know.
totally cool.
I a particular restaurant, I'll go to and order something, and if it's it's unfortunate because I'll typically order something, I will enjoy it, and I will never order anything off the menu other than that one item.
I do
Even
that for some
though,
restaurants,
yeah,
for sure.
um, I'm not big into change. I like things to be the same. I like things in order. And so that also contributes to my likes and dislikes for the videos I watch, because it's always usually the same subject. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. It's probably not as healthy to stay in one place uh, versus going out and actually expanding the interests that you have. But I also feel that there becomes a point where you can overexpand and now you've spread yourself too thin. Um,
Oh yeah.
so I mean that's wow, that can be a whole episode talking about the psychology behind why we like to do the things we do. But
Yeah.
I know we don't have time for that at all this
You
episode.
also don't want to get me going.
I mean, like it's like you're a very stable person. So when people meet you, you're stable in that they know what you're interested in, what you're not interested in for the most part, and that can be very comforting and allow people to either get along with you or not. I'm a very unstable person, so while I might be fun to be around, it's also hard to understand or get along with me sometimes because I'm all over the place. I'm like a little neuron bounce or whatever bouncing around the room, proton bouncing around the room 4 billion times. So it's like you don't know where I'm ever going to end up, uh, which is also a curse. So while you say, hey, my side doesn't, I might be boring. I'm saying like, well, it's hard for people to relate to me because I know I go too much. So it's like you have to find a balance. Anyway, Seth, what are you? How do you?
I already told mine.
Oh,
I went
you did
second,
kind of.
and then you jump back. Like guys, I choose based on like what project I'm working on. Pretty much the only time I watch videos on like YouTube or anything like that is whenever I'm working on something new, and I watch things similar to just to kind of spark ideas. Like when I built this desk, like I watched multiple custom desk builds that were absolutely nothing like mine, but just kind of see like how they did some things, and I there were a couple ideas. So I'm like, okay, I could probably incorporate that. That's cool. Or like when I built this rig, it's like the first water cooled loop I've ever done. So I watched a ton of videos on how to do it, different best pathing, anything like that. Which, fun fact, your pathing does not matter. Where you put your stuff in your loop, it will always be the same temperature at all locations. Did not know that, but it's probably basic science. But I did not know that. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
The
So
more you know.
yeah.
So yours are
Just
mostly
for
project
reference,
based.
I'm talking about that, like one of these. So like the water cools it, right?
Seth, that's not safe for work, man. Don't be showing that off.
Uh, so but like so the water in every point of that is the same temperature. So like when it's going through the radiator, which in my head is when it's gonna be the coolest, it's actually not the same temperature at the CPU as it is in the radiator, which is just interesting, but not the
Really?
same for cars.
Cars.
So like if
I
you're
wonder
going
why
if you're
that
going
is.
through an intercooler, it's a different temperature than at the engine, but it's because it's working at a lot higher of a temperature. Uh,
That makes sense. Well, see, I learned something new. Someday I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna pull that out of my butt, and they're gonna be like, "Where did you learn it from?" And I'll be like, "I couldn't tell you, but it was Seth. Thank you, Seth.
Hmm.
Thank you for adding your knowledge to my knowledge, man. That's why I like you."
Seth, you mentioned cars. I know a while back in a post show we had actually discussed your upcoming car purchases. You had shown interest in buying a truck, but I know we didn't discuss that too much. Any
it's
particular
a
truck you're
need,
looking
a
at?
necessity.
Is there a particular truck that you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at the like 16 through 18 or 19 Silverado or Sierra. Actually, I'm kind of liking the GMCs a little bit better than the Chevys, but they're basically the same truck, just small changes. Um, but yeah, those are what I'm looking at. I really like the body style. Plus, it has all the extra comforts that I've become used to in my past couple car purchases. So I
We'll go
need
on what extra comforts, I guess I should
like
say.
just you can get more specific. Like I want whether it's they all come in leather, they all come in cloth, they all come with a middle console or not. Like I mean, you have the options when you buy at a newer level like that. But then also like Apple CarPlay or Android Play, like all those different stuff, backup cameras, seat warmers, all that stuff that you get in a newer car. Because there are some older trucks that I like, and the reason I want a truck is for future purchases. I want a boat soon. I want to be able to take my motorcycle like whenever I go visit places, like when I go back to Texas to
Wait, y'all
visit.
live in Louisiana and you don't know the
I don't own a boat, but I will
floods
I
like
will own
every
a boat in the near future. But I need a truck first.
I don't like getting in the water in Louisiana for said
Yeah,
reasons.
it's
So
fun. I don't swim, but being on a boat, you're okay. But
it's mostly
Louisiana also has a lot of
swamp.
shallow water with unseen tree branches and stuff, so you need a flat bottom boat. I don't want a flat bottom boat.
Yeah,
So, but we're about to. Never mind.
we're about to dip
No,
out.
no.
Oh, okay.
No, of the show, yeah, because we'll be wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah.
Word. That makes a lot of sense.
So, but yeah, and looking for a truck. That's the one I like the most. But I don't know. My options are open.
Are you trading in the Civic? Or are you keeping it?
See, that's why my options are open. Because if I decide I want to keep that car because it's just an insanely reliable car with good gas mileage and brand new, I'm the only owner. That's just a nice thing to have.
I'm going to assume with the truck you're going pre-owned, right?
Probably that, or it used to be like a rental or something like that. I'm going insanely low mileage, but for a not like I don't want the newest model, it's gonna be harder to find, non-pre-owned. But yeah. So, but with the Civic being so reliable and just like I said, I know everything about it because I was the first person to drive it. It is kind of nice to have. So I'm trying to decide: do I buy a cheaper truck so I have the truck capabilities, and then just keep my car? Or do I trade the car in and get a nice fat truck?
Now, when you say cheaper, are you referring to like a higher mileage or like a?
I'm referring to like
isn't
an older version of a truck. So
Okay.
something that isn't showy at all, but it'll get the job done.
Are you off-roading in the truck?
Probably not, but I do want the capability because I would like to get back into outdoorsy things where I might want it, but it's not something I use right now at all. So I would like the capability, but I'm not going to spend an extra 10 grand for the capability.
What happens if I bought a truck and then you could just keep your Honda and you could just borrow my truck when you want to?
I don't borrow things, dude. I have things.
Why? I trust
I'm materialistic.
You're one of the safest drivers I know. Like, I could trust you to drive my truck and not do.
I don't know about safest drivers.
Yeah, but what if you
skilled
need the
drivers? Sure.
No,
but
okay. But when you're you're very.
I am not going to get into an accident.
You're a very responsible driver when you're not driving a sports car. So I could trust you to drive a truck with a trailer on it and be very smart about how you're doing it. You'd probably drive better than I would.
Used to drive a truck.
Unless he takes the trailer off. Unless he takes the trailer off road.
Yeah, because he used to drive those trailers for Casey.
Yeah, loaded down with who knows how many pounds of. I used to know how many pounds. I just don't want to lie to you, but it was insane. They were annoying to drive, but man, was like.
What was I have thought about the possibility that whenever I decide to get rid of my car that I currently have, that I'll buy a truck. But maybe I won't be on this.
Maybe you can just buy my car, so we'll still have that. I can still have that reliability, and then I'll get the truck. Bam.
No,
yeah,
there we go.
No,
hey,
your
Pat,
car is nice though.
I do like it. That's why it's harder to get rid of it.
Yeah.
How many miles has your Lexus got?
Oh, like 206,000 miles.
Nice.
Now.
Well, those things last forever, though.
Not really. Lexuses aren't known for that.
Yeah, no, they're like a Toyota.
I mean, it is a Toyota, but it is pushed harder. Like the electricals and stuff are what tend to go out because they were trying to be all fancy, which, as you know, like with your console and stuff, so electrical starts to fail. That's the problem with most of the luxury cars. It's not the car itself's going to break, but your electrical is going to start messing up, and that's too hard to fix.
Messed up.
Are you, Pat? Are you looking at getting something new, or are you trying to hit a milestone maybe with the mileage and ride it out, or what?
Right now, it's like I have the car paid off. So it's all I pay is insurance on it. No car note, no extra $400 gone out of my account every month. So it's very nice. So I'm enjoying that time, and I've been saving a lot of money since I paid it off. As far as because it took a lot of financial burden off of me. Even though I was in a good place before, even when I was paying off, I'm in so much better of a place now.
Yeah. For $400 a month is
So now it's
from experience, it sucks.
So now it's the thing is, like Seth said, a lot of the technologically things like tech side of the car have been causing me problems as far as I can't listen to music anymore, and I can't. I have all my stereos are slowly breaking.
Well, hang on. If you can't listen to music anymore, you may want to get your ears checked.
Yeah. So what I do now is I play music on my phone while I'm driving it through the phone speaker of my. That's it. That's how I listen to music. Now, if I was smart, I could buy like a boom, like one of those like little portable boom boxes or whatever.
And
And
then
I,
just
I
put it in the passenger
That's a
I
seat.
did
smart
I did
idea.
that in my Integra because it didn't have a radio when I bought it, and I never put one in because that car
yeah.
was built for custom. Like, and I, like eventually one day I'm like I'm gonna mold me a dash with a touchscreen in it. Blah blah blah. I never even got close to that. So yeah, I did have a little speaker that I kept in there.
So maybe I'll do that because like I'm really enjoying just not having that car payment and I'm saving up a lot of money. So whenever I do buy a car, the hope is that I can put a lot of money down on it and have a way less
That's a smart thing to do.
amount of or maybe
No.
buy it outright. But if I
Yeah.
buy a truck, I'll probably have to put money down.
If
And
you buy a truck outright, I'm gonna be impressed. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
Trucks
yeah.
are incredibly expensive,
But I
and it
mean,
seems
right
to be
now,
going
But they
up.
keep their
good.
value, so they're worth it. I'm just gonna
They
say
do.
that. Like, I mean, they keep their value.
Yeah, used trucks. Well, and it also depends, I guess, if you get diesel or not, because those trucks last forever, and those hold their value. You can get a
What, diesel
diesel,
trucks?
yeah, with 90, 110,000 miles, and you're still paying $35,000 for the truck.
Crazy.
It is.
But I mean, it'll keep on rolling. Or I mean, I'm sorry, it'll keep on trucking.
I wonder
So, I don't
actually
know.
if that's actually got me thinking. What vehicle?
I might want to get a. That would be interesting to get a diesel truck. Have you ever thought about that, Seth?
I don't want one because I don't know anything about diesel mechanics, nor do I feel like learning a whole new mechanics side.
But
I know a ton about regular mechanics. I don't have the time to learn diesel mechanics.
Hey, maybe Pat does with all of his video watching on YouTube.
Well, I mean, it's a lot harder than watching a couple of YouTube videos. Like when it comes to an entire like how an engine runs and how to maintain, it's just different.
I don't know. You got a lot of free time.
Me?
No, just anyone. If you have a lot of free time, you can learn anything.
A lot of hands-on experience required.
That's what she said.
So maybe I'll be that person, and I'll make you learn it because you'll become infatuated with my diesel truck.
I will. If your diesel
You don't
truck
want a
breaks, I'll be
turbo
like,
diesel truck?
sucks.
You don't want a turbo diesel truck.
No.
You wouldn't be interested in working on one if it wasn't even yours, and you just got to like.
No, I probably would just take your turbo off it and put it in something else.
You're so annoying.
I'm actually kind of curious though. What vehicle holds their value the most? Is it trucks?
I believe it is trucks, as far as I know. It's definitely not luxury. But yeah, I mean, most cars lose a ton. I don't know about SUVs, like how they hold.
I'm excluding like supercars because I think those are probably always going to hold the value.
I mean, they still also lose a ton of value, but they'll still be worth more than your average car. So it's But I don't know SUVs honestly, like your Tahoes or even like your Jeeps or whatnot. But
I still think trucks are more expensive than the SUVs.
Yeah, I would assume so also, but they're on the same type of chassis. But I mean, Jeeps have their cool kid tax. That's what we'll call it, the cool kid tax. So they cost way more than they're actually worth. It's like getting
throwing Subarus
like
in
getting a 240 or an STI or something like that. Like they hold, like you pay more for them, but not because they are still worth that amount, but because everybody wants it. You can charge higher.
So it's like an iPhone. They are the iPhones of the car industry.
Pretty much. It's not that you're getting a car that will last longer. Is you're getting a car that is extremely coveted, and so they charge more for it because every I'm pretty sure every mid-20s or to upper teens, I'm not gonna actually throw in that insane stereotype, but anyways, a lot of people love their Jeeps because they are told to love their Jeeps, not because they'll ever use them for what Jeeps are actually made for and awesome for, but just because they want those cool points.
Yeah, it's the same reason they vape.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I looked it up just so you would be interested, since we were talking about it. The things that hold their value the most in 2020. So that's when they go back 5 years and look at a vehicle and what it sells for in 5 years to what it was bought.
2015 vehicles.
They said Subaru Crosstrek, Subaru Forester, Subaru Outback, Toyota Highlander, a GMC Yukon, Jeep Wrangler, 4-door off-road SUV, a Volvo XC40, a Porsche Macan, a Porsche Cayenne, Lexus GX, and Lexus LX.
So no trucks. Those are all SUVs.
And then
Or
really basically.
But that's for 5 years. I when you get into longevity is where I feel trucks are really in there because like you said you can get a diesel truck with insane high mileage and still
best resale
expensive.
value for 2020 trucks, EVs, and minivans go to Toyota Prius Prime, Tesla Model X, Honda Odyssey, Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra, and a Chevrolet Silverado HD.
So it's other than the Silverado, those are cars that not a lot of people buy.
Yeah, I'd buy a Tundra.
I don't dislike them. They're just not big enough. Like I feel like if you're going to get a truck,
I don't know, man. Have you seen a Tundra recently?
Well, okay,
maybe not.
Interesting.
I honestly can't picture one in my head recently. But the last Tundra I can actually think of, it is it's more like a Chevy Colorado or like so a little bit smaller than, and so you lose the bed space and stuff that really make it worth it.
Because a Tacoma, it falls in the mid-size pickup truck. Tundra falls in the full-size pickup truck. But here's the deal.
I think that's Toyota's biggest.
The Silverado HD falls in the heavy-duty pickup truck. So I don't know what the difference between a heavy. Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true. But what's the difference? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is heavy duty compared
I'm assuming
to
just like wear and tear and suspension and stuff have been tested more
rigorously.
Everyone knows what word I'm trying to say. Yeah, and I also was hoping to have a break before this 12-hour stream I'm about to do, but it looks like I'm not going to, so.
You're doing another 12-hour stream?
Yeah, my birthday stream. You talked about this. You said you would be on with me, not the whole time.
Happy belated birthday,
be on with me,
Seth.
so you better get on. Oh, thank you.
You don't look a day over 32.
That's good.
Yep,
I'm only 3 days over 32, so
nice.
Perfect.
All right, well, this has been the Talking Guys, episode 28.
Well, did we count back in?
9? No, we're still going. We're just going to go. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow, man.
We kind of rolled. We can cut out some of that, but we're good to go.
All right, not bad,
we're good to go.
Now
episode 29 of Talking Guys. We did gain 2 subscribers over the week, so we've officially crossed the 80 count. So thank you all for continually sharing and showing your support. We appreciate that. Links, as always, are going to be down in the description below next to that coupon code for a future sponsor, possibly, maybe. I don't know. That's what they say, right? That's going to be next to the.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Soon enough with our 82 subscribers, we're definitely going to have
I'm about to sponsor.
Let me tell you, I'm about to be walking around being like, listen, I'm on a podcast that has 82 subscribers.
Hey, well, actually, 81 at the moment, but we'll get that truck money.
Positive thinking. I'm positive thinking. It's a thing.
We will get that truck money. It might not be through this, but we will get that truck money.
get the truck money. So
maybe someday. Although trucks cost so much money, so
we'll get there. Get that YouTube money. So thank you again. Check the description for the timestamps along with the links to the social medias. If you guys have a favorite truck, let us know in the comments below what your favorite truck is.
And just make sure that it can carry my motorcycle and tow a boat
at the same time.
Sure. At the same time.
Also, I would be interested to hear people's how do you pick things to watch online? Like when you're whatever streaming site you're using, how do you pick things that like because I just would be interested to see what other people say in the comments. If you feel so inclined, please like, click, and subscribe. Leave a comment below with the 2 things that we told you to. That is an order. It's not a suggestion. And I appreciate you coming in and listening to us talk about whatever we talk about every week.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess see you guys next week.
Tough
28 episodes.
things.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
Later.
one.
Peace.